What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another Bring the Juice Colts podcast live stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Guys, it is a Sunday evening, freaking snowy everywhere. Hopefully everybody's safe and having fun out there. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and I did see Tom Grossi was doing that. Hey, would you guys be willing to promote Tom Grossi's stream after this? Yeah, I mean, I'll certainly try to help. Grossi out if I can do anything. But thank you guys, everybody that is tuning in. Shout out to BetUS for powering this stream. If you guys are looking for a sports book this off season, look no further than BetUS. What's going on, everybody? See a couple people coming in here right now, so greatly appreciated. But I have to talk about this topic today because it's really getting on my nerves today. I'm going to wait a little bit just to see if I can get a few more people in here, a few more Colts people in here. But please be sure to like the stream, guys. Helps the algorithm, helps it get out to more people. So be sure to like the stream if you can come in. Sorry, Owen. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Of course, my friend Austin and my fiance in here. So appreciate you guys. Only thing to watch is the Daytona 500. Feel that, Joshua. I feel that. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna definitely hey, what's up, Gifted Mind Frames? What's going on? Is Ballard don't have an answer, but great question. Yeah, so I see more people coming in. So again, guys, if you're watching, please like the stream, help it get out. Appreciate you guys very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, oh, you're good, man. Just glad to be finally catching a live. What would be defined as a winning QB, though? Yeah, so let me just kind of break down what I've been seeing today. So today on social media, and I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it over the last few days, and I've been seeing that people are asking the question, should the Indianapolis Colts consider drafting a quarterback? I mean, not just late in the draft. Like some people have suggested that. Even I have suggested, getting a quarterback late in the draft potentially. But drafting one earlier than most people would expect. And then seeing because obviously Chris Ballard mentioned the idea of adding some competition to the quarterback room to get Anthony Richardson to play better and something like that. So, but now people are starting to take it literally, and now people are telling us, what if the Colts take a quarterback in the first round or even the second round or the third round? Like those early rounds, right? Because they're trying to find a quarterback that might actually dethrone Anthony Richardson at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself that I think that is probably the dumbest thing you could do if you are Chris Ballard, in all honesty, because I look at it from a couple different perspectives. We sat here and we have said, or he has said specifically, that Anthony Richardson is going to be a project. Anthony Richardson is going to take some time because he's got some things to work out. He's got things that he needs to improve on, and we're going to give him that time. Well, if you go and get a quarterback in this draft class that is going to try and take his job and legitimately try to take his job, and you promote that guy from within, over Anthony Richardson, I think it turns out to be a really bad look on Chris Ballard and the entire coaching staff for the Indianapolis Colts, in all honesty. I really do. And, you know, people have been trying to tell me like, oh, you know, like think about like other situations when it comes to like Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy and things like that. Like I hate to break it to people, but like the situations that they're in are just insanely different. There is so much more that the Colts have an issue with, that we're not just a quarterback away. We can't sit here and say, oh, you know, what if somebody like a Brock Purdy? First of all, Brock Purdy was the last quarterback in the draft class of 2019 or whatever. So, but like, and on top of it, like, yeah, Brock Purdy he came into a really good system with some elite players. And I know people were like, oh, well, Trey Lance failed when it came to that. But hey, what's up, Smokey Dabs? How you doing, dude? Appreciate you. Yeah, make sure everybody hit that like button. Hit the like button. And anyone on Twitter, make sure to come over to YouTube and watch it over here, guys. Yeah, Brock came in with no pressure. Yeah, I look at what is, I'm going to see if I can find one of these arguments because I tweeted about it. So somebody says, so Colts 365 is like Colts, or couldn't disagree more. Goal is to find the guy. Doesn't matter when he's drafted. Yeah, but the problem is that you have, so the means to find whoever it is, right? I think almost every single person that watches this quarterback, like we have heard the national media, we have heard fans, we have heard everyone say there is virtually nobody in this draft class that makes you go, that's the guy. Like, that's a guy that is 100% going to be a proven quarterback to go out there and do something, right? Like, I know there's guys that, you know, like Will Howard or Jackson Dart or the guys like that that are, you know, experienced, but they all have flaws in their game. A lot of people have flaws in their game. And if you want to sit here and you want to tell me that the Colts need to take a chance on that, I can't. You drafted Anthony Richardson just 2 years ago when he was a insanely big project, and now Colts fans are telling me that it's time to move on. So here's the other thing that I think is the problem, and also anyone that's tuning in right now, be sure to like the stream. I think the goalpost has shifted, and the problem is that I don't know if it's as much about Ballard. I feel like it has more to do with Anthony Richardson. There is a huge chunk of Indianapolis Colts fans that are willing to sit here and say that they are so against Anthony Richardson at this moment in time that they are willing to sit here and suggest that the Indianapolis Colts should not only get a quarterback to compete, but actually go out and try to find a quarterback that actually will take his job already. The kid is 22 years old. He's had 30 starts in college and in the NFL combined. And yet you have this numerous amount of people that are saying we need to stop moving the goalpost for Ballard. Like, for a long time, everyone was like, oh, Ballard's so great. Oh, Ballard's done some good things. It's not his fault that this team is it underperforms. Well, now we're at that point, but now people are sitting here and they're telling me if Ballard took a quarterback in this draft class, and somehow, some way, that quarterback potentially would be better than Anthony Richardson right now, that means Ballard should keep his job. What happened to the people that were like, oh, I'm so done with Chris Ballard. I can't stand him. We need to stop moving the goalposts for him. He should have been gone forever ago. Now are willing to sit here and say that there's a way that not only can Chris Ballard save his job, but will look so much more different to Indianapolis Colts fans, and that is to forget what he did in 2023 and just move on from it. That was just 2 years ago. I can't get with it, because people are operating under the assumption that the quarterback that the Colts take is going to be better than Anthony Richardson. If he takes a quarterback in the first, second, or third round, and that quarterback, first of all, in order for that pick to even be okay, you have to then assume that that guy has to start, right? Yeah, well, when the owner says, I'm giving Ballard another year, what else do you want us to do? Well, there's not much that we can do. We as Colts fans are stuck in this time loop of Jim Irsay just being okay with Chris Ballard just continuously messing this franchise up. And it's disappointing. Sounds like you just want to fire Ballard regardless of the outcome for 2025. No, I want the situation to be, you drafted Anthony Richardson in 2023. You said that you were going to give him a chance. You said you were going to give him the tools necessary to succeed. And you're telling me that Chris Ballard would just accept that after 2 years, in which one, he was injured for over half of it, and then in the second year, the entire team just faulted and didn't do what was necessary to get better? Then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What would make me happy for 2025 is if you as Anthony Richardson show a big jump of improvement. If Anthony Richardson takes a big jump of improvement and the offense looks better and this team is fighting for a playoff spot this next year and potentially makes it too, then I would be happy with 2025. What I would not be happy with is taking a potential project quarterback in this draft class for him to potentially sit, and when you could have used that draft pick on something more that this team could have used it for. That third round pick, give me a running back. Give me a backup running back. Give me a corner. Give me a safety. Give me a linebacker. Give me an offensive lineman that we need more depth at. This was something that I saw somebody say. I don't know if it was you that said it on Twitter, but this is something I saw before. Also, everyone that's tuning in, be sure to come over to YouTube. Be sure to like the stream, guys. If AR starts 0-4 and Dart wins the next 8 games, you would not be happy. No, I'd be happy at the fact that Jackson Dart won 8 games. But am I going to sit here and say that, oh, Ballard, you're a lifesaver because you drafted another quarterback that, got lucky or was, happened to just be better than the number 4 overall pick that you had 2 years ago that you said you were going to give a chance? No, that's not a helpful thing for Ballard. That just goes to show he found a quarterback that actually knows what he's doing. That doesn't make me think that Ballard knows anymore what he's doing. That doesn't. It just shows that in 2023, he botched the Anthony Richardson thing. He should have never gotten him. He should have been more aggressive. He should have went and got the quarterback that he needed. That's what he should have done. It doesn't change the fact that this team still doesn't have issues. And the problem with it is when it comes to this team, we're more than just a quarterback away, guys. We're more than just a quarterback away. We're not just, yes, we might be a decent quarterback away from potentially getting into the playoffs. No doubt. But, sorry. But when it comes to the rest of the team, we're not in serious contention to, be one of the best teams in the league. We're not in serious contention to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, beat the Ravens in the playoffs, or the Bills in the playoffs. And certainly if we were in the Super Bowl, we wouldn't be beating the Eagles. We wouldn't be beating the Lions. We wouldn't beat the Commanders. Because they have more important things than that. Sure, they have better quarterbacks than we do, no doubt. But they have other things that they're good at. Their defenses are usually pretty good. Their offensive weapons, they have elite offensive weapons. So that's the difference. And we don't have the depth necessary for that right now. And then on top of everything, we have a defense that last year, the defense was so fragmented that we can't possibly think about being real teams. Just want to say again, guys, this stream is powered by BetUS. If you guys are looking for a sports book this year, look no further than BetUS. I know that football is officially done, guys, but they do have college basketball. They have NBA, hockey, martial arts, anything you guys can look for in betting. They have prop builders and odds boost to help you guys out. So be sure to check out BetUS, guys. And also be sure to use their promo code YouTube150. Get a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit, and then a 125% sign-up bonus on your next 2 deposits. Just be sure to use that promo code. But of course, guys, always bet responsibly. So my issue with all of this is that I just want to give Anthony Richardson one more chance to show improvement. Because again, you staked your reputation on this kid being special. You picked this kid to be your franchise quarterback. And then you want me to sit here and say that after 2 years, you're just going to give up on the kid? It's ridiculous. No competent GM says that they're going to draft their potential franchise quarterback, and then 2 years after, in which more than 50% of the time has been injured because of it, sits here and says, oh yeah, that guy's just not it. This guy's just not it. It's not the way that it goes. It's not the way that it goes. And I know people are going to sit here and say, oh, the 49ers. The 49ers took a 7th round quarterback, the last player in the draft. And then their quarterback got hurt again. And then he had the chance to play. And then he showed he was really good. That wasn't John Lynch planning that. John Lynch got lucky. And John Lynch got lucky that a quarterback, Brock Purdy, was good enough to use the weapons that he had and was available. That wasn't John Lynch being smart. They need to do better. Like I said, and these other teams, like the Eagles with the Wentz and like with with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz and whatnot. The team was built well prior to that, though. And not to mention, they made it to a Super Bowl 3 years prior to that. They made it to a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl 3 years prior to drafting Jalen Hurts. And yeah, Carson Wentz became an issue. Carson Wentz got worse. Carson Wentz wasn't performing at the level that he was, and all these other things after the injury. And the Eagles brought in another quarterback under the assumption that they weren't going to be able to figure it out with Carson Wentz. But that's different for Indianapolis. We haven't won a playoff game in over 5 years. 5 years. Because this roster and the coaching staff and the organization that does all the business has not done its job. That's the problem we sit at. What up, Chris? How you doing, man? What up, Michigan Wolverines? How you doing, man? I'm not sitting here and I'm not debating the success of Anthony Richardson. I'm not debating it. I am talking about, what does this do for Chris Ballard? What does this do for Chris Ballard? The Colts should not be looking to assign another quarterback right now when the jury is still out that Anthony Richardson can still potentially get better. Again, you drafted him 2 years ago under the assumption it was going to take a few years to get him where you wanted to go. And if you're going to give up on him before that time happens, then that is a ginormous indictment on how Chris Ballard does things, and he needs to be gone. We have all been saying, I would like to know who in this chat honestly could sit here after the season was over and tell me, oh, they still wanted Chris Ballard to be here. Who? And now all of a sudden I have these Colts fans that were so anti-Ballard for so long that are now telling me if he drafts a quarterback in this draft class and that quarterback somehow does well after benching Anthony Richardson again, that somehow, some way, that means Ballard should keep his job. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. All that means is you found a quarterback that knows how to win. But that doesn't mean anything. You still sucked at your job that you botched the first round 2 years ago. Hey, Jacob, how you doing, man? I wish I could say I was doing better, man, but these Colts fans are pissing me off today, dude. Pissing me off today, really. The only reason why I have any hope that the only reason that I feel that what I'm talking about is completely useless is because our owner's Jim Irsay. Because Jim Irsay allowed this dude to come back. Even after what this team just showed you this year. There's absolutely no faith in this franchise to figure things out. They don't have any. Oh, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I don't have vindication, and also like if you draft a quarterback late in the draft, if it's not a first round quarterback, you're taking a chance. You're taking a chance on a quarterback. And if somehow, some way, you want to convince fans like myself that the solution to the Indianapolis Colts being better in 2025 to fix our issue with a incomplete, still learning quarterback is to draft another incomplete, basic backup quarterback? How? How are you going to convince me of that? It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't know why I got brought into this loop. You know, I maybe I should have been better about just not engaging with it on social media, maybe. But I can't with people. There are some legitimate people, and you know what? I have seen people that are people that I have interacted with, and I respect them, and I will never, I would never, be truly disheartened by it. But but it just makes no sense to me that we have a situation where people are just that quick. It's again, a lot of it has nothing to do with bending the goalpost for Chris Ballard. I think people have just found a loophole where they are just so tired of Anthony Richardson that they're willing to give Ballard the benefit of the doubt that Anthony Richardson isn't the quarterback for us. But guess what? Who drafted him? Who drafted him? You have to roll with Anthony Richardson this year, guys. There's no alternative. There isn't any. If you bring in another quarterback, and that quarterback beats out the QB that you drafted 4th overall and wins the starting job, and actually, and regardless of whether or not he totally flops or if he takes us to the playoffs, it doesn't matter. Chris Ballard needs to be gone because you stuck your reputation on Anthony Richardson and you were willing to go out of your way to get another one. And you know what? Even if he didn't go out of his way, if he drafted a quarterback that was in the 6th round and Anthony Richardson either has another season-ending injury or if Anthony Richardson just flat out doesn't play better in 2025, then you still have to fire him. Again, the only way that I see this working out for Chris Ballard is if Anthony Richardson plays for a vast majority of the games this year, and not only improves, but improves drastically. We have had a video and a stream on this in the last few weeks. We talked about how much of a difference does it make for Anthony Richardson in order to make us believe that Anthony Richardson still has a shot at getting better and deserves that 4th year on his rookie deal, right? And I think most of us are in agreement. It's around that 10+% increase. $5 super chat from Austin. Thank you, good sir. Anthony Richardson should be and will be the Colts franchise quarterback. 2025 will be the year of the Indianapolis Colts franchise. Well, I greatly appreciate you, man, but we'll have to see. I hope that my confidence can grow similar to you. So Zoe. Can you get no, you cannot get a name tag. Stop it. And now here I am ranting to all of you about Anthony Richardson once again. Someone described AR in a really good way. AR can do the things majority of QBs can't, but he can't do what the rest of them can. Yeah, that's very true, dude. And that is a culmination of a lot of different things. And I do believe that there is a way that can be trained out of him, but like I said, this, regardless of when is the next bold / hot takes coming out? Sometime this week, I think. Again, guys, please be sure to keep liking the stream. Please comment. Please subscribe. Thank you, guys. I truly believe if this is Ballard's last year, unless he spends on free agency and kills the draft, I just don't see how he keeps his job past 2025. Well, I know how. It's if Jim Irsay is, dealing with it and everything. But you're right. Like, we need to get a really good draft. We need to actually get quality players in free agency. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of new starters. He just has to get a couple good depth pieces and maybe a starter or two. And on top of it, like you said, that you need to get a good draft. And that doesn't include drafting a quarterback early to try and take the job of your potential franchise quarterback. That's not what that is. Listen, I know we want to talk about Ballard wants to bring in wants to what's up, Jacob? Thanks, man. You have a good one. And everybody wants to say that they're going to bring in a quarterback that's legitimately going to try to win the job. But I don't think that's really the case. I don't really think they're actually bringing in, trying to actually do, actually hit someone to take his job. They're just trying to get him to be motivated more. which kind of, begs the question, like, if you really need to be motivated by somebody trying to take your job. But again, he's 22. He's 22. A lot of quarterbacks in today's college football don't come into the NFL until they're 23, 24 sometimes. And this kid's 22 now. He's been in the NFL for 2 years. And he's 22 now. He's so far behind. And again, the only way that Ballard gets to keep his job is if Anthony Richardson shows improvement, vast improvement, and if they make it to the playoffs this year. If they don't make the playoffs again this year, you're still struggling at quarterback, and all these other things are happening, then it's time to move on. It is. Yeah, Bo Nix somewhere laughing with his old self. Dude, he was 24 coming into the NFL, dude. He had 5-6 years in college? No wonder. No wonder he was so much better, because he's had so much college experience. Didn't he play 60 games in college? Come on, dude. If Starks is on the board, I'd take him, but I think the Colts sincerely want Tyler Warren. Hey, they might. Well, we have that many people watching. Hey, everyone on Twitter, come over to YouTube and watch it over here. I'm gonna exit this one right here, but everyone come to YouTube. I'm deleting it off of Twitter right now. Yes, I'd be happy with either of those two. And I'm tired of people trying to make the excuses for Ballard. I said that if he drafted a quarterback in this draft and that QB goes out and wins the starting spot over AR. So let me look at this. Let me show y'all. So this is what I tweeted the other day. Okay. So I made this tweet, said, guys, if Ballard drafts a QB in this draft and that QB goes out and wins the starting spot over AR, I don't think some of you realize just how much of a stain that is on Ballard and his staff. I mean, logical, right? Would it not be a stain on the GM who drafted a quarterback 4th overall 2 years ago in a draft class that was full of 4 good ones, at least, that we felt in that time, and now are going to have another quarterback to come in and do those things? Come on, man. Would you rather draft a stud tight end or a lockdown corner this year? I don't know. That's tough. I would love in the first round to get a stud secondary player, and then in the second round get Harold Fannin Jr. I know a lot of Colts fans are dead set on Tyler Warren, which I think that if they went anything other than Tyler Warren, if he was available, a lot of Colts fans would be pissed at Ballard. Pissed. But again, I could care less. Alec Guerrero with the $2 super chat. Thank you. Everyone wants Warren, but I want Xavier Watts. Yeah, it comes down. I don't know how I don't know where Xavier Watts will fall. We certainly wouldn't take him at 14. But maybe if Ballard traded back, you could get Xavier Watts later in the first, but that would only be if, like, say, Warren and Starks were both gone, right? That would be the only reason. Even be your boy Jim Bob with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. YouTube crashed. We broke the site. That's weird. I haven't had any crashes. I don't know. Maybe it's on some of your guys' ends. That's wild. Even beyond the Richardson situation, how do Ballard defenders defend Ballard taking another D lineman instead of picking up Dejin or Mitchell? Listen, I get it. Like, it's not like Quincy Mitchell and Cooper DeJean were unbelievable through the entirety of the year for the Eagles, but they were good players. And the Colts defensive staff mismanaged Latu this last year. And Latu needs to be given more snaps. Latu needs to be given more opportunities that the Colts defense did not give him. Okay, so that's really not on Ballard as much. I know that a defensive end is, such a hard thing to deal with at the time, but it comes down to a lot of things. But I mean, as of right now, yeah, the Colts need to get a great player in a position that matters. And we have too many spots right now that need issues, rather than trying to focus on a quarterback that we're not sure is going to be up for the challenge or not. There is no quarterback in this draft class that the Colts can realistically acquire that you can go out there and you can definitively tell me is going to step up and be a starter and be a great quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts for the next decade. There isn't one. So stop talking about the quarterback talk. This started and ended and will end with Chris Ballard and Anthony Richardson. If Richardson fails, Ballard fails all the way through and through. All the way. Brian Williams with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Hello, Derek. Hope you are doing well. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. What position is Watts again? He's safety. So Jackson Dart is a complete quarterback. No, he's not. If he was a complete quarterback, he would be in the top 10. Nobody has Jackson Dart in the top 10. No one. Jackson Dart is not a complete quarterback. If he was, he'd be up there with the rest of the guys. No cap, breadsticks. You get some hauls for that cough. Yeah, I feel that. I do need some cough drops, though. Austin in here, tank and draft Manning? Hell no. Because, first of all, Arch Manning is not a definitive product. Secondly, if you do that, then that means Ballard needs to be fired because, once again, it feeds into my question again. You've flopped 3 times being the GM in the last 5 years with that. It's not possible. And yeah, tanking isn't a real thing in the NFL. Some teams are just really bad. Different question with Ballard making the pick. Do you trust him more drafting a tight end or a cornerback? Neither have been his best picks, but we need them both. I think I would trust his cornerback picks a little bit more, I think. So, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Austin to the rescue. I would trust his cornerback read a little bit more, but tight end, the production's just never been there. Cornerback has mainly just been injuries. He's had a couple cornerbacks that have been okay. Yeah, I'm just sick and tired of people talking about us getting a quarterback. It just makes no sense to me. And again, not to mention my original tweet when I tweeted it, the one that everybody's so pissed off at me about. First of all, I said if you draft a quarterback at all and that quarterback does better than Anthony Richardson, then that just goes to show you once again that I was right. That Chris Ballard botched the quarterback situation. He got lucky, and that shouldn't save his freaking job. Austin, what are you going to be able to tell me that I haven't already told this stream? Thank you for the $2 super chat again, by the way. They don't need a quarterback. They need they have a quarterback. That quarterback needs to be better. Colts fans have me just dying today, man. Clean house. Well, I don't think a lot of Colts fans would disagree with you. I would totally sell him. I would sell him and get him out of Indy. I really don't need him there. You don't need him here. You don't need the contract. You don't need him. He's not going to be groundbreaking in any way. I think he reached his peak last year. Well, unless you guys have some more to discuss, I'll probably end this stream here soon. Who are 5 starters you'd be okay seeing replaced? Quiddy Pay, EJ Speed, any of our outside corners, any of our safeties, maybe not Nick Cross, but more of the strong safety and Julian Blackman. Any of the tight ends. Can we get a mock draft real quick? All right. I'll make one. Would you sign and trade for Higgins? I would not. We don't need wide receiver right now. Wide receiver is not an issue. I'd be more interested in Indy just getting Myles Garrett, to be honest with you. All right. Let's do a mock draft real quick before we end this. All right. Start this thing. Making it fast. No trades. No nothing. You know what? We'll go Tyler Warren this time around. We'll see what we can do with that. Let's see who's available at 45 that we can take advantage of. Nick Emmanwori is a good one. Let's take a look at safeties. Xavier Watts is there. Yeah, you know, I would love Xavier Watts at 45. Not entirely sure if I'll take Xavier Watts if he's there at 45. 100%. Who is your ideal competition QB for AR? Well, Brian Williams, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Greatly appreciate that. I'm not a big Kyle McCord guy. I don't really like that idea. I know Riley Leonard would be an okay one because Riley Leonard, you know, kind of runs a similar system to Anthony Richardson. I certainly wouldn't mind a Will Howard type deal, but I don't know what quarterback I would want to have in that situation, though. Running backs available right here. Does Ollie Gordon? Oh, we can get a couple of these guys right here. I like Barrett Carter there at 80. Yeah, Mike, is that confirmed? Ooh, Ollie Gordon at 116 would be great. Ryan Kelly said that they told him they are going younger. Well, no, I heard Chappell say that they'd be willing to go younger if he's not going to commit to them. But I never heard anything about saying that he's actually going to be gone, though. I didn't hear about that. Go Ernest Green at tackle. So far we have Tyler Warren, Xavier Watts, Barrett Carter, Ollie Gordon II, and Ernest Green. Mello Dotson there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Take Cam Jackson at defensive lineman. And then there we go. That is our draft for that one. So, all right, guys. Tyler Warren, Xavier Watts, Barrett Carter, Ollie Gordon II, Ernest Green, Mello Dotson, and Cam Jackson would be mine. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Again, shout out to BetUS for powering this stream. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my ranting a little bit. If you do, please enjoy giving us a like. That would help me out. Again, guys, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Colts.